So I think that what we need to keep in mind for client recommendations and strategies on 66 is, I believe, Gustavo, what you want to do is overlearn investment vehicles. Because if you overlearn investment vehicles, then when you approach a suitability question, there's two things that are going to work for you. One, I think you'll be pretty good or better at process of elimination. So, for example, if you overlearn direct participation programs, you would know that if somebody's seeking liquidity, that goes out of the answer set. You can also then use it to answer the questions about suitability, right? If they say something like you overlearn, let's say tips, and they say your client wants to keep pace with inflation, right? So that's how I usually tell people to attack recommendations and strategies, is to overlearn investment vehicles. I'm going to turn the board over to Brian. I see he's writing something on his board. So there you go, Brian. It's all yours.
I call that section the potpourri of the 65-66, the client recommendations investment strategy, because it has so many different unrelated content all thrown into that one section. Of course, on the test, it's randomized. It's all over the test. So I feel your pain, man. I understand there's a lot of different stuff. I think the first thing you really ought to look at is the Series 65/66 content outline. At least there, you have an entire list of what content you need to do. Generally, most textbooks put these units, well, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But oftentimes, these units are fairly close to one another in the textbook. Kaplan, STC, training consultants, whomever, they chop up their textbooks in so many different ways. But again, many of these are going to be in the same general vicinity. So I would get that content outline, right? Because now you're going to see what content areas and the kind of subcategories. That way you'll have kind of your little box of client recommendation investment strategy content. And that way you know what sections or units in the textbook, what custom quizzes to do, and that will help you. I think my class notes will also help you with that. I was going to write performance measures down here as well. So there's your potpourri. And as Dean said, you also have the types of clients and some suitability stuff in there. That's where all the different business clients, the LLCs, the S Corps, the sole props, the C Corps, those kind of things, the trust accounts. There's a lot of content, man. I hear you. So again, get the content outline. That way you'll have a list of all the content you need. Find those units and the custom quizzes on those particular areas. That way you'll have kind of a little imaginary study box with that content. That should help you. My class notes also have some small kind of bits and bobs that you'll need to know for each one of these. That might be helpful as well. There you go, Dean.
Love it. Love it. I also have on my channel where you can watch me explicate that actual document where you go through test specifications. I just recently posted a 65 version of that. If you use the channel search bar, I will link to the video itself where I explicate it, but also you can put in the channel search bar that topic, and you can find a tutoring replay of that section where I've actually gone through that with somebody in a tutoring replay.